Hey guys, we have an interesting update midweek this week in our epic month of April 2024 astrology. Of course, we are coming out of right now a very powerful full moon that happened in a square to Pluto on Tuesday yesterday. This was also the midpoint in our new moon in Aries cycle, which also happened to be that total solar eclipse that happened a couple of weeks ago. So there is a lot of intensity in the atmosphere right now. You could be picking up on it, but this week on Thursday, we have Mercury stationing direct in the sky as well, and the moon simultaneously is going to be in Scorpio, opposing Jupiter and Uranus in their big conjunction in Taurus right now. This could be a wild week, you guys. Faded news, information that could have like a real shock factor to it, conversations, hearing things that just sort of like blow your mind and have some type of transformative impact on like the choices that we're making or the way that we see things moving going forward. Big shifts, big changes coming in this week. There is a Mars-Neptune element of things though, I will say, and even though we have Mercury stationing direct, this is not the time to take action to move forward. You're going to want to wait until the end of the month after the 30th to really start something new and, launch off on any type of new direction, new venture, whatever, because Mars is going to enter Aries and that is going to be the like blast off rocket point. Okay. From now until then, this energy is about endings, release, letting go, tying up loose ends, and really redefining ourselves in some way that is going to characterize the next era of our life that we're stepping into now, and that Mars is gonna move us forward towards as we close out this month. So that being said, you guys, let's get into our energy of the week. Let's talk about all that we have coming together this week and perhaps what things might be like for us as we move through this energy. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day where we are narrating the shift of the ages. And if you guys stick with me until the end of this report, I have done a collective tarot reading for us as well. I like to tap the energy field for more than one modalities when I'm doing these daily, weekly overviews, just to get an additional energetic perspective on what's going on out there. So there could be some messages in there for you at the end. We're going to start with the astrology. And we're going to talk about, I want to start by talking about the energy for Wednesday, and then we'll get into another big day this week, which is the energy for Thursday, the 25th. But, Wednesday, we really still are in some of this heavy full moon energy. The full moon happened exactly, I think, what time was it at? 7:49 in the evening last night. So we are still in this energy quite heavily. The sun is actually still at the same degree midday on Thursday that it was for our full moon activation last night. So this energy is just playing out throughout the day. The intensity is probably quite palpable. There could be some power struggles going on, sort of like clashes of will, things feeling like they're coming to a head. We had a fixed square with Pluto going on for our full moon, meaning the sun and the moon, of course, were in an opposition to each other in fixed signs Taurus and Scorpio. That's what gives us our full moon each month, when the sun and the moon come to a 180 opposition with each other. But they were both forming a 90-degree square with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. So this is a fixed square, and fixed squares, this is about getting things unstuck. And when we're talking about the plutonic force, that is what is like getting things unstuck. This is, purge, purification, regeneration, transformation on like the most deep levels and in the most like purest form. And it can be very intense, can be a very powerful experience. The sun in Pluto also coming into a square. This has a tendency of representing like very powerful forces that are sort of like vying for power or like butting heads, you know what I mean? Just like tension, conflict that needs to be resolved by some type of a breakthrough. But with Pluto being the force, it is like the fight to the death, which creates the revival, or it just requires some type of foundational, fundamental, like root solution, like transforming things from the solving the root problem in order so that things can be foundationally, fundamentally transformed. That's what we're looking at. And of course, Pluto in the sign of Aquarius right now, you guys, like, This is actually to restore a sense of personal power going on within us somehow. This is to return power to the collective on some level somehow. And it could be, you know, through some difficult challenges or something that we're up against that we have to break ourselves free from, or that we may be finding these wells or sources of power within us through what we're being forced to push through, to persevere through, or even to release or let go of right now. The energy right now, another side of this week, it's all about, as I said in the intro, it's all about letting things go. That full moon that we're coming out of, full moons are always release points. This is a lunar energy. It's a full expression. It's kind of like the pressure valve releasing on any type of situation that's been building since a new moon cycle, because that is what a full moon is. It marks the halfway point, the midway point in any new moon cycle that begins with the new moon in Aries. So, you know, this is aside from the fact that this full moon happens to be in a square to Pluto, which is making it very powerful. It was also the midpoint in that solar eclipse, new moon in Aries energy that was also super powerful. That happened a couple of weeks ago. So this is powerful energy, no matter what perspective you're looking at it from, no matter what feature of the chart you're pulling out. There's just so many different facets of it that can be, you know, understood to all contain this level of transformation capacity and just like the powerful force of change that is upon us. We've got the Plutonic force, which is transformation, then obviously also everything that everyone in the astrological community is talking about right now, the big conjunction that is going on between Jupiter and Uranus in the sky in the sign of Taurus, which is obviously one of the signs that was implicated in this full moon, the sun in Taurus, the moon in opposition. And so, you know, therefore, as we move through the week and the full moon energy plays out and the moon transits through Taurus after having made the opposition to the sun, it is then going to form the opposition to Jupiter and Uranus. And that is also like massive, supersized change that realigns things actually in a way that is going to lead to some type of tremendous value and tremendous growth. But we're not there yet. We're not seeing what will actually transpire as a result of what's been going on right now. There is a definite distortion in both the informational field right now with Mercury stationing this week, and also our energy field and our energy body and our self-perception. And that's another thing we're going to be talking about in the energy, you know, this week. Today, I talked a bit about it in my video from Monday, and definitely as we move through the weekend as well. The Mars-Neptune conjunction, I believe, is going to be exact on the 28th. And we really could be caught in some type of personal delusion where we are viewing ourselves as somewhat less than we actually are in one capacity or another, and struggling with that. A lot of people are going to be struggling with that. A lot of people are going to be projecting it out onto others as well, you know, as we move through the week. So that is something that we're going to want to keep make sure that we're aware of also, and we are not overly attaching to people's weirdness and perhaps their like irritability and states of varying agitation that could be going on this week, which is very likely. People are probably going to be struggling with some personal issues and maybe even like some mental health struggles as well. This full moon has probably been quite intense for a lot of people, and so it just may be manifesting in terms of, you know, just people not necessarily being their best selves as we move through the course of the week. They feel kind of honestly like delicate and fragile right now. You may feel like you're sort of like walking a fine line between a couple things, or like on eggshells in the energy of Wednesday, like waiting for something to happen. A sense of sort of like growing anticipation and stuff like that could be a thing as well. Just because the Uranus-Jupiter, it's going to be activated on Thursday. Mercury's also going to go direct on Thursday. So in the energy of Wednesday, we're sort of just like in this like void zone, sort of like we're dealing with the energy associated with the full moon, but also there's like this pending, these pending activations with Mercury about to go direct and the moon about to oppose Uranus and Jupiter together. And both of these energies are going to make us aware of something, most likely. It could be something that is positive, it could be something that is a bit disturbing or uncomfortable, it could just be like something weird, it could be like a missing piece of information that we've needed, it could really make things clear to us somehow. And as we move through the energy of Wednesday and the intensity associated with the Pluto square full moon, there could just sort of be this like unsettledness, you know, like I said, like, you know, wanting to proceed with caution. Things could kind of just feel like delicate or fragile. So if you're feeling that, I wouldn't be surprised, because I just feel like that's the vibe of the day between the full moon and the day when Mercury goes direct and the moon opposes Jupiter and Uranus in their conjunction. Thursday is the big day I wanted to talk about midweek this week. It's another wild energy day, and things are getting ready to be revealed, perhaps getting ready to be corrected. We are going to start understanding some of the stuff that's gone on this month that maybe just sort of blew our mind or left us in some type of like state of disillusionment or confusion somehow. You know, like as I said, as we move through the week this week, those sentiments may become more profound as Mars and Neptune come closer into their conjunction together. But by the time that we end this month and Mars enters the sign of Aries, this is definitely going to like rev our engines. This is going to really clear things up. This is going to bring us back to life, reinvigorate us, and we're going to be ready to make the choice, make the decision, take the action to move ourselves forward. Huge future focus is coming. But this week is about the resolutions, the endings, the surrender, the letting things go, the moving on, the release from, you know, on a very deep and emotional level. This could also be sort of like a cathartic energy that we're dealing with as we go through Wednesday and into Thursday. You know, it is peak intensity, and there is likely to be an enhanced level of the typical full moon lunacy playing out Wednesday and Thursday this week as well. I would say above average with Mars and Neptune there. We are just primed, and also with Jupiter and Uranus together and the moon in opposition, we are primed this week for people acting really weird, doing strange things. It would be probably wise to proceed with a sense of caution this week. Be very skeptical, be very careful trusting anyone or anything, you know, even your own perception. The thing is, like, Mars rules the self and the ego. When Neptune is distortion, illusion, Neptune like erodes things and it breaks things down. Mars and Neptune together can distort our perceptions of ourselves, of our strength, of our capabilities, of, you know, our own will and courage. We could feel really weak and just like kind of like impotent and like we can't do it. It can bring up feelings of depression, and it can just make us feel like we don't have what it takes to, you know, accomplish anything. You can get real down on ourselves. But this is the thing also, right? We have to remember Neptune is also the illusion. So whatever, you know, however we're really kind of like feeling about ourselves and the energy this week, it is probably not the truth. It is probably not the reality. It is much more likely just the illusion of the way that events are presenting right now. Things are not truly as they seem. This is very evident as well with Jupiter and Uranus together. This is blessings in disguise. This is things not being how, this is things not truly, you know, not appearing as what they truly are. And the moon opposing Jupiter and Uranus is activating this energy also. So, you know, we've got a couple different energies that are indicating, you know, people acting weird, people acting strange, things not being truly as they are. And Mars and Neptune, like, this is not the time to move forward. This is a time, honestly, to rest, to like meditate, pray, spend some time, you know, maybe connecting with like our higher selves. This is a very highly spiritually attuned energy. It's a good energy also to do anything that is like selfless, you know, where we are like giving in and of ourselves with no expectation of getting anything in return. But a lot of people also, you know, will manifest this energy in terms of deceptive action. This is like con artist energy and stuff like that. People are just very likely to be delusional, you know, depressed, irritated, maybe without knowing why, generally just down on themselves, feeling lost, feeling detached from reality, and projecting this onto others. Neptune is also a sign about projecting. So, you know, if somebody comes after you with just some totally crazy accusations and you're just looking at them like, what are you talking about? There's a good chance that they are telling on themselves in some way, or just projecting something onto you because it's bothering them about themselves, but they can't see or acknowledge it that way. As I said, you know, mental health issues could be really surfacing with this. It's a good week not to focus on what you don't have, what's not working, what you don't like about yourself. Like, we don't want to focus and dwell on our losses if possible, even though that's probably going to be the tendency. We don't want to focus on our states of lack or victimhood this week. Active gratitude, engaging in our spiritual practices, giving selflessly of ourselves, best use of this energy when every temptation is likely calling us to see the glass as half empty. We should maintain our commitment to self-discipline and choosing to see the glass is half full. That will be a worthy challenge and pursuit this week if we are able to, you know, focus on, you know, moving in that direction or keeping ourselves there somehow. If you are feeling totally drained, burnt out, you know, dismayed, disillusioned, lifeless this week, again, try not to take it too seriously. This is the illusion. Neptune is the illusion. With Mars, our energy, our self-perception, what we think about ourselves and our abilities is clouded, okay, is very distorted. And we do have like bipolar energy that is coming up as we move from this energy, which will hit its peak on the 28th, and then literally 2 days later, because Neptune is at the very end of Pisces right now. And Neptune Pisces, this is the strongest Piscean energy, you know, Neptunian energy that there is. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune's in his home sign. This is like pure Neptunian Piscean energy in a conjunction with Mars, you know, at the very end of this sign. This is the ultimate drain on the energy reserves and on like our vigor, you know what I mean? And like our passion and like our will to live and all of that, our exuberance, okay? So you could be feeling that, but then literally I'm saying bipolar because turn around 2 days later, Mars leaves Pisces, where, you know, our energy is not at its, you know, full vigor, enters the sign of Aries, his home sign, which is going to be this spark that is just revving our engines. So we're going to go this week, all week, we're sort of moving more and more into this like depressed energy. And when I'm saying depressed, I don't necessarily mean like mentally depressed. I just mean like, you know, depressed, like compressed. That's what Neptune does. It brings things down. Mars is our energy levels. But within literally 2 days of the peak depression, we're like way at the top. We're going up there. Like so this is a dip followed immediately by a sudden peak that is going to kick us off in this new direction, carry us forward. The month of May is probably going to be a wild ride as well, but we're going to have Mercury direct in Aries. We're going to have Mars in Aries. Venus is going to enter Taurus, her home sign as well. Venus and Mars, both in their home signs. Like, that will be the time where we want to, you know, implement our plans, make our choices and our decisions, really get moving in this new direction, whatever we're launching off towards, okay, but not before the 30th. Until then, we're still in this state of kind of like suspended animation, dream state, lull, you know what I mean? But use it to infuse yourself with, you know, the faith and the spiritual energy and the vision that's going to move us forward once this energy breaks, okay? So use this week for endings. This is not the time, okay, to try something new. You could feel like you're hitting rock bottom somehow as we move towards the weekend, but there's going to be a shift. So we are seeing the glass as half full regardless. We're not losing hope. Literally everything is just very weird right now. And the way that things appear in the moment is not how they're going to be as we begin moving through the month of May and we go through these big shifts as a result of Venus and Mars both changing signs, and Uranus and Jupiter, having gone through their conjunction as well. So there's a lot of things that are likely to come to light as we move through the week. Mercury, I cannot believe that Mercury is stationing direct in an exact conjunction to the North Node. Like, that's mind-blowing to me, and I do think a lot of people are going to be getting some very mind-blowing information this week that really changes the trajectory of things or puts an immense future focus, like our attention on the future, in a way that we're really motivated to move towards. Mercury, the messenger planet, the North Node, the destiny point. Of course, this could be some type of fated news, information, conversation, being at the right place at the right time. It's a significant piece of insight that is coming to us somehow that is implicating the future, or the choices that we're making, the decisions that we're making, the action that we're going to take. Making a choice, decision to move forward with something could be coming this week as a result of something that we're finding out. However, we're not going to do it until after the 30th, right? Right. Okay. Something is turning around suddenly, though, or, something suddenly making sense. That's what I would expect. Now, of course, this could come via people doing and saying and being like really, really weird. A lot of people, as I said, are going to be telling on themselves through their projection. Seeing through the facade, seeing through the illusion, letting the mask slip. This is going to be going on that is going to lead to some of these revelations. Secrets revealed is another, kind of like key phrase that I think about when I'm thinking about this energy as it's coming through this week. And a lot of people acting and speaking prematurely about things. People who aren't following the astrology and don't realize the whole Mars-Neptune situation right now. When Mercury goes when Mercury stations direct in Aries on Thursday and the moon in Scorpio opposes at the same time Jupiter and Uranus, a lot of people are going to take this energy or this impulse or this activation that comes through and like run with it. Like, they're going to take it as like, whatever they're hearing, whatever they're finding out, whatever context or missing information or revelation is going on, they're going to take it and they're going to act super impulsively, super spontaneously on it because they're going to think they have what they need to move forward. But they're going to come to find that for some reason, like, the action that they're taking is coming to nothing. It's not going to pan out. Mars, and that's another thing, like why I'm saying this. Mars and Neptune together, like, this is energy that comes to naught. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're putting, like the the work that we're putting into things translating into nothing, because it's like trying to build a sandcastle at the foot of the ocean, and like all the work that you do with every wave that comes in, it gets washed out. Like, that's what a Mars, Neptune, and Pisces conjunction feels like to me in terms of any staying power of the energy that we're putting into things. It's literally like the struggle of trying to construct a sandcastle when the tide is coming in. It's just a waste of time and energy. Like, it's not going to happen. And even though, Mercury direct in the sign of Aries, so we feel like, the correction or the choice or the decision, like we know what we want to do. And then the moon activating the Uranus Jupiter, it's like, sudden opportunity or sudden change, shift, like a need to break free, like needing to do something radical or different, whatever. A lot of people are going to be acting prematurely, acting impulsively, taking off in a new direction, thinking that they've got the information that they need, thinking that they know what's going on, but still in a state of personal delusion, right? With Mars and Neptune there, because the truth is that they don't. And the truth is that this is not the time. And the truth is that any, thing we try to get done right now is just gonna, fall apart or crumble beneath our fingers or our feet, okay? And people are probably going to be going a bit crazy because of that as well. So realizing that that's just the general vibe out there, but also realizing that this is fated realizations that are coming through. What we are coming to understand this week is likely to be, the real deal. The decisions that we're making are probably the right decisions, but it's just not the time to act yet because of this personal delusion, like, energy. If we're not feeling our best necessarily, also, like, if we're not, it's just like, why would you act now when we could wait a couple of days and then Mars is going to enter Aries? It's going to be a totally different vibe. We're going to feel on top of the world. We're going to feel ready to conquer whatever, to, you know, slay the dragon. We're going to be feeling so much more invigorated. Like, that's the energy that we want to move in, okay? Not this draining energy where really we need to be healing ourselves, okay, and like sitting with spirit and sitting with our higher selves, and, you know, really getting to the root of our issues and figuring out what we need to let go of and the old aspects of ourselves that we need to shed because they're only a detriment to us right now. And if we're going to become this new person, you know what I mean? Like, this is a period where the more kind of just like into our own spiritual journey we can be, the more it's going to pay off when it is time to move forward. So deciding that it's personally necessary to actively release something, that would be a gold star way to use this energy. Deciding to surrender an aspect of ourselves to correct something personally that we have figured out by this point in time, that would be a gold star way to use this energy. But playing the victim or the martyr to gain sympathy somehow, to, you know, get your way, achieve your outcome, move towards your personal motivation or something like that somehow, that is not a good way to use this energy. Active deception is something we always also have to look out for when we've got Mars and Neptune together. A lot of people are going to be playing off of states of victimhood in order to, you know, manipulate circumstances to get what they want. Don't buy into anybody's pity party right now. And that's a lesson both ways. You know what I mean? Like, with all this Chiron energy that is so strong right now, the goal really of like the universal activations as they're coming together are to teach us to be our own hero, to teach us how to release ourselves from states of victimhood or states of lack and wallowing in any type of pity party or woe is me or state of victimhood. Like, that does literally nothing to solve the problem, and all it does is perpetuate our attachment to these cycles that have kept us in this state to begin with. So this is energy that is actually extremely supportive in helping us to solve problems, to break cycles, epiphanies, flashes of insight, sudden downloads, solutions, remedies just hitting us out of nowhere, gaining a higher perspective, the right piece of information that hits us the right way, that reconfigures our brain and helps us to change our perspective on something and change a behavior some way. Like, this is where we want to orient. And anybody who is leading with their victimhood, with their lack, with attention-seeking behavior via some type of pity that they require somehow, it is not supporting their process of growth for us to enable that state within them as well. Leading by example, okay, is the best way that we can help somebody to release themselves from that vibration, from that mental state. But enabling problems, enabling states of victimhood instead of seeking solutions, seeking remedies, seeking like true, genuine, authentic healing, that is not what we want to put our time and energy into in this time and energy. And a lot of people are going to be playing off states of victimhood in order to manipulate people, in order to achieve their desires. This is a very manipulative energy and deceptive energy as well when we're dealing with Mars and Neptune. This is like true con man type of vibes on the lower octaves of things. So we do not want to be buying into and giving attention to people's states of victimhood if they are not seeking solutions to their own problems. Just want to throw that out there as well, because that is another thing that is probably going to be a common manifestation in this energy. But insanely fated stuff playing out. Like, Uranus, this planet is all about the future and realigning things in such a way so that a certain future can come to pass. With Jupiter there, this is that energy like amplified tremendously. So we're talking about highly, highly fated times. And then we've got Mercury stationing direct and an exact conjunction to the North Node, which is the destiny point, which is also this like tremendously fated energy. Nothing about anything that happens this week, you guys, is meaningless. It may not make sense. It may seem cruel and unusual, to be honest with you. A lot of times Uranian energy can go that way initially, but it is not meaningless. And not only that, the things happening now, you guys, are going to end in some type of like value or worth or worthiness that is like exponentially beyond anything that we could fathom right now. And it's coming through in so many different ways. The symbolism, actually, in association with the planetary alignments on Thursday, is all about the value and the worth and actually like the spiritual wealth that we're gaining through what we're transitioning out of right now and the challenges that we're overcoming right now. And we'll get to that in a minute. But this could also, you know, things could feel very overwhelming this week. This is a whirlwind week. So if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel burnt out, if you feel like things are kind of just like spinning a bit out of control, this energy is going to pass, but it's just a feature of what we're going through that is, you know, acting as a bridge between the past and the future somehow. No one really knows what's going on. No one knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows even necessarily really what's real in the energy of this week. However, secrets revealed, shocking news, sudden changes, and revelations that change the future path somehow or just change things generally significantly. Don't push yourself too hard this week. Illness and infection can also be a thing that we're dealing with Mars and Neptune together. However, you know, you can greatly reduce the tendency or the likelihood of this manifestation if you're just taking care of your physical body. If we are neglecting Neptune and Pisces, the body, Mars, the physicality, this is when the more like low vitality, illness, infection prone energy can manifest. So as long as we're being good to ourselves this week and not running ourselves into the ground, we should be good on that as well. And I want to talk about the Sabian symbols real quick. Go back to what I was saying about just the emphasis on value, value, value coming from what we are moving towards now, whether we see it, whether we don't. Endings and difficult experiences at this point in time translate into extreme value. Endings plus difficult transitions equal value and worth. The symbols that are coming through Thursday, along with our Mercury station and Moon Uranus Jupiter opposition, we have the sun at 6 degrees of the sign of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a bridge being built across a high narrow gorge, bridging the past into the future. It might be a bit of a daunting process, but we are going from one thing over to another thing, and it may be something that we had never been able, it may be like a gap or a void or a space that we had never been able to, a chasm that we had never been able to cross before, you know, within ourselves somehow, but we are making it there. We're building the bridge across. And then we have the earth, you know, the state of things on the ground at 6 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is a gold rush, tears men away from their native soil. There could be a very strong incentive, motivation, urge, impulse to take off, to move towards something, to chase after something. But remember, we are on a gold rush. We are moving towards that, but we are not doing it until we begin the month of May. Okay. We've got Mercury stationing at 16 Aries in the exact conjunction with the North Node. That Sabian symbol is fairies dancing in the setting sun. So celebrating endings, celebrating the culmination of something, which that's where we're at now. We are in the end times of a certain era of our lives and experiences. We've got Venus at 26 Aries, a man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. And we've got Jupiter and Uranus together at 23 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems. So we've got Uranus and Jupiter together at a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And she is at a man possessed by more gifts than he can hold. Well, we've got the Earth at 6 Scorpio, a gold rush tears men away from their native soil. The changes that are happening now, what we're awakening to, the opportunities that are coming, the transformations that are underway, they are not for nothing. There is significant value to be gained that is going to fulfill us on levels I do believe that we've not experienced yet in this experience of life so far, moving forward into this unfolding month of May and the rest of the summer that is coming at us. So, you know, there is this huge emphasis, again, on the value of what we're doing now, the changes underway, our ability to persevere, and taking off in this new direction to, you know, go after something that is truly precious, truly meaningful, and truly valuable to us, and is going to change our lives, you know, as we move towards it. So that's what I'm going to say about the energy of the astrology today, you guys. We've got a real interesting tarot message that also came out today. It does seem like something has come to the end, and the reversal that's about to go on is going to be successful for us somehow. And it's literally putting things back how they need to be, restoring like a higher order, the cosmic blueprint. And that's what Uranus does too, right? It makes the changes for us that we haven't been able to make for ourselves, so that we can get back into alignment with that higher purpose, that higher potential, that true destiny that awaits us, that we may become detached from or distracted by as we go through various life experiences. But let's talk about these cards. So it was interesting how they came out. The first card that we had come out was the Tower in reverse, okay? And then in reference to that, we had the Moon card, the Ten of Swords, and the Hangman in reverse coming up, followed by the Six of Wands, which is the Victory card. And then we had the Hierophant and the Strength card on the back of the deck, okay? We need to do the right thing. And I've been saying this. We need to have the strength and the self-discipline to do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. Something has come to the end. Look at this. This is the Hangman in reverse, okay? When the Hangman is in its regular upright position, which is actually reversed for the Hangman, this means that we're thinking about something. We're deliberating about something. You know, we're really pondering. We're going deep. We're looking at things from all perspectives and all angles. Like we are trying to shift our viewpoint, our focus, our perspective to gain a sense of enlightenment. But when we've got the Hangman in reverse, to me, with this illumination around his head standing upright, to me this kind of symbolizes that we have gained that enlightenment or that illumination that we've been seeking through the process of, you know, looking at things from all these varying angles and perspectives. And with the Moon there, this is what's hidden. This is the dark. This is the secrets. This is deception. This is our fears and stuff as well. And obviously the Ten of Swords, this is the end of something. This is like, the way that I'm seeing this, and with the Tower reversed as well, this is like, you know, some sudden awakening or shift or change or upheaval that is leading to some type of an enlightenment that is putting to bed like the end of some type of fears, some type of confusion, some type of being in the dark about something, some type of misunderstanding, somewhere where we've been being deceived, or where we've been in some type of, you know, state of illusion, maybe even some type of like nightmare scenario, honestly, with the Ten of Swords and the Moon. We're getting the answer, like we're figuring it out. And then we've got the Six of Wands. This is victory, some type of victory, or feeling like we've conquered something, like we've won something, like we are back on top somehow as an outcome of having the strength also to maintain our faith in the face of the fears that we've been facing. There's, you know, this is speaking to the same things as the astrology, some type of upheaval leading to some type of enlightenment or illumination that brings to the end something that has been holding us back, blocking us, either unconsciously, subconsciously, or legitimate fears or confusion that have been causing us to be in a state of like disorientation or delusion or illusion somehow, you know. But it's coming back to having the strength to maintain our faith in the face of these fears, and also do the right thing even if it is, scary, okay? We need to trust that this is actually, though it may be the end of some things, it's also very much the beginning. And, we're going to be successful over the things that have held it. Like we're going to conquer that which maybe, we felt like we would never make it through in the past. And it has a lot to do, again, with the upheavals, the change, and maybe like some of the more sudden turns of events and stuff that are going on right now. So I feel like that is honestly really in alignment with the astrology. Let's grab another synchronicity card. Not another one. Let's get a synchronicity card and ask God, Spirit, Universe, what would be some good advice? We have the Yes card jumping out. So if you're pondering something in this moment, yes or no related, that might be for you. Let's see if we can get another message, a specific message. It's always interesting to me when the yes and the no card come out because they're so random in this deck and sometimes they just fly out and I feel like, they probably mean something. Okay, it's your attitude. It says, which, yes, this is what I'm saying. Mars with Neptune, like, we're just not probably having a lot of the best attitudes out there. Okay, it's your attitude. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Matthew 7:14. The only way you can alter outer conditions is to change your mental attitude. For harmony, peace, prosperity, and health to enter your life, you must fill your subconscious with the understanding that all harmony, peace, abundance, and security is yours right now. So, that's the thing. We are not allowing, the Neptunian unconsciousness to distort our perception of self and like our attitudes throughout the course of the weekend. That is the challenge, you guys. So let's focus on that and I call it the weekend. I keep calling this report the weekend. I've had so many, I'll probably cut most of them out, but I've had so many verbal stumbles in this report. I'm really looking forward to Mercury stationing direct. This has been a rough one. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. It's your attitude. That's the card of the day. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would enjoy this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am very grateful for your feedback, for what you guys have to say. I really appreciate knowing what's going on with you out there. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. That is valuable to me. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard, see the whole thing, I post pictures of them in a Facebook group that I have that's linked in my description box below. Jana Shellman also usually posts the pictures of the synchronicity cards over there. She's the creator of the synchronicity card. She's been having some health issues, so prayers for Jana and a speedy recovery for her. And come back with me on Friday, you guys. We've got more big astrology coming through this weekend. As I've mentioned, probably more times than I needed to in this one report, Neptune, Mars conjunction on the 28th. Venus enters Taurus on the 29th. Mars enters Aries on the 30th. So bipolar energy coming at us, moving through the weekend, and I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful midweek, and until then, bye.